Okay, good evening. So there are 24, but only 7 have joined us so far. Okay, so starting, this is your attendance QR code, right? So you just scan it, right? So even if you're following it online, the same thing will be flashed for about 20 minutes. After that, it will disappear, right? So if you have come in late and you can't see the QR code, just message. If it is still valid, it will be shown on the screen, all right? Okay, right. So the next thing is your housekeeping, right? So you know that we are totally digital now, right? So you don't have any of printed notes with you. So what you have to do is you have to go to your canvas, right? So when you go down to your canvas, you will have to select your course, right? So like in my case, there are so many. So for you, there's only one or two, depending on the number of subjects that you're doing. That's group 1, July. All right, so this is your lecture notes, right? So this is book 1. Book 2 has not been published yet or released. So if we go to notes book 1, a lot of things there, we will use them as they come by. Most important is this particular thing. All right, this is book 1. All right, so please make sure you don't click here, don't click under the title, click at the download. Right, if you click here, you may get an error message. Oh, I'm not getting an error message, I'm lucky. All right, but normally you'll get an error message, so don't click it there, click it at the download arrow. Okay, right. Okay, so two things that you need to have. One is this particular book 1, and then the other one is your practice questions. All right, so you can download it when you come for class, but sometimes the Wi-Fi may give you some problem, so then there will be a delay. So if you're using your equipments, your laptop or whatever, maybe you can download it and store it there, so it'll be faster. All right, now the others are all like this one, you don't need it now. This is a code of corporate governance. When we go into that, I will tell you, but these are some of the articles that you can read now. You don't have to wait until the end. All right, because there are lots of technology in SBL. All right, so you got like big data, you got blockchain, you got cryptocurrency, you got fintech, right? So all these things we will be talking in class, but it will be quite of a dry area. So what you should do is maybe try to read up on this particular articles. Now, are these all the articles that we have? No, there are more articles. For the other articles, you just have to go back to your accglobal.com, right? So these are the questions that I may be using besides that. So whenever I tell you to look at a particular question, we can get it from here, right or not. Okay, so as far as possible, I put a label on everything so that it's easy for reference. But as time goes by, I may add on more things here, right or not, which are relevant or from time to time, right? So this is how you get your materials, right or not. Okay, no materials will be given to you via email, right or not. Okay, so everything is here, whatever you need. If anything else more than this you need, will be uploaded there. All right, now that is for your lecture notes, right? Okay, now besides lecture notes, you will also have something called class notes. As you see, class notes is empty because why? This is our first class, right or not. Okay, so how I do my class notes is I will have a slide like this. So a lot of people will say, can I have the slides early? Well, if you want to have the slides early, can, but if you notice, all the slides are blank, right or not. Okay, nothing is written there because this is what I use for my presentation. Like how you have a blackboard and a whiteboard, right? For me, this is my blackboard. All right, so whatever I have to write, I will put it in there. But do you need to copy this? Don't waste your time. Why you don't waste your time is at the end of the day, and for safety purpose, within 24 hours, whatever I do on my slide here will be uploaded here. Okay, so you can get it from your class notes, right or not. So you don't have to email me for the lecture notes, for class notes, nothing, right or not. So lecture notes, go back to your lecture note profile. Class notes will be under your class notes, right or not. So you have got two different notes to look at, right? Okay, right. So this is your lecture notes. This one is already there. Only this will change from lesson to lesson, right or not. Okay, so whatever I do on my slide will come over here, right? Now, another thing that we have is we already have ready-made videos that comes under a synchronous session. This asynchronous session, it has notes and it has about 5 videos. The topics that are covered here will be on leadership and disruptive technology. When do you do this? You do this at a time that is convenient to you. Okay, this is what we call the self-study section. Will it be tested? Yes. Right or not. So when do you want to do it? It's up to you. Like my full-time students, I told them to do it from now onwards, right or not. So you don't have to wait until the end, because After 10 lessons or 12 lessons, you suddenly get the burden already. The volume would have gone very high already, right or not? So you want to do things as early as possible, right? So that is the area that we have. So I hope you understand this particular method on how to use this. Any questions here? All clear? Right or not? So please download your documents. We are going to use them today, especially for the book 1 and the practice questions. The others I will show you as we go by. All right. So today is lecture number 1. So my name is Dominic, and I do papers like SBL at the higher level, and at the lower level is going to be BT. All right. Okay. Right. So now this SBL, all right, has been around since September 2018. It has been around since September 2018. Before that, what did we have in the place of SBL is a paper called P3 and a paper called P1, right? But we can't say that SBL is P3 and P1. ACCA doesn't like that, right? But when they took off P3 and P1, they brought in SBL, right? So if you ask me in a nutshell, what is in SBL? All right. In SBL, we have two sections. One is two main sections. One is your business strategy, right? So you are all practicing accountants. I would assume that because you're already at a strategic level, your financial knowledge is very strong. Your accounting knowledge is fantastic, right? Now what we want to do is we want to see how can an accountant play a role in business, not doing accounting work, right? Because accounting functions can all be automated already. We want to see how do accountants understand business and how do they play a role as a financial business partner, right? So that is why we have got a lot of things on business strategy. And to be frank, in SBL, business strategy is a very big section, right? You have got so many models in them, right? After you finish your business strategy, the next section is going to be on corporate governance. Is going to be on corporate governance. Okay, so between corporate governance and business strategy, where can you have a little bit more of a breather? Corporate governance. Because corporate governance, everything has got documents. As long as you follow the documentation, you do the right thing, corporate governance is correct. But business strategy, there's no fixed answer. If every company can have a fixed answer for business strategy, you do not have a competitive advantage. So to get a competitive advantage, our strategies may vary from one another, right? Now, when you talk about SBL, the exam that we have is now about 3 hours, 15 minutes. When they first started, it was 4 hours. That means in September, it was 4 hours. But after that, they have changed it to 3 hours and 15 minutes, just like all your other strategy paper. But there's a catch. Once it became 3 hours and 15 minutes, before your exam, they will release what is called a pre-sim. Okay, a pre-sim is a case study of about maximum 15 pages. Actually, it doesn't reach 15 pages. Sometimes it's about 13 pages, sometimes about 14 pages, sometimes it's about 12 pages, right? So you have a pre-sim for 15 pages, and this document is given to you 14 days before exam. You're given this document 14 days before exam, all right? Who gives you the document? It will be given to you by ACCA. I don't give you the document, all right? So once it hits 14 days before the SBL exam, ACCA will send you emails. They're asking you to download the pre-sim. Until you download the pre-sim, they will keep sending you that email. All right, I think it stops on exam day. After that, no point already, isn't it? Right now. So 14 days. How long will it take to read the pre-sim? You can finish it in about 3 to 4 hours. But you are given 14 days. Okay. Now, using this pre-sim, you don't have to do anything extra. So for example, if they give you a pre-sim on an airline, you don't have to do a research to find out which airline it is. Don't waste your time. If they give you a hospital, you don't have to go and find out which hospital it is. You don't have to waste your time. Nothing outside the pre-scene is required. So in this 14 days, all that we ask you is understand the pre-scene thoroughly. Okay, so by the time you get your pre-scene, according to our calendar, we would have already completed all our lessons. We would have completed the first part of the revision. If you are doing the revision with us, we would have completed the first part of the revision. The pre-scene will come in just before or on the second part of the revision. So that means when you get this, you are able to find out from the pre-scene which areas are talking about business strategy and which areas are talking about corporate governance. Why? Because we've already completed the syllabus here, right? Yes or no? So you get this, you already understand all these areas. You can start dividing which one is business strategy and which one is corporate governance. Why? Not to spot. To understand how the pre-scene fits into our syllabus. Okay, because the pre-scene and the syllabus must be aligned right now. So that is why you are doing this. You can't spot. Why you can't spot? Because we have not gone into exam day. On exam day, you will get an exam paper with 4 exhibits. There will be 4 exhibits. These exhibits is new information. Are you all following me? This exhibit is new information. That means what? None of it is taken from the pre-scene. Are you following? Right, so that means I give you an annual report of our company. You're reading the annual report. Okay, tomorrow there's a newspaper cutting, newspaper report, and that newspaper report affects our company. So while you were reading this annual report, did you know about the newspaper? No. That newspaper is what? New information. Yes or no? So you want to see how this new information is going to affect our company based on the information that we have. Are you following that? That is your exhibits. So if I want to spot a question, I first should be able to spot exhibits. But can I spot exhibits? I can't. Because I don't know whether it's going to be a newspaper report or whether is it going to be an email from somebody. Is it going to be a board meeting? And even if I can tell you there's going to be a board meeting dialogue, what is the dialogue? I don't know. You understand? From these 4 exhibits, then what happens is you will get 3 questions. 3 questions only. But of course, they're subdivided. 3 questions. So these 3 questions will come from where? The exhibit. Exhibit is new information. So to answer this question, you need to also be able to pull out information from the pre-scene. But the problem is you already worked on the pre-scene for 14 days, right? You have put a lot of notes on the pre-scene, right or not? That notes that you put on the pre-scene cannot take into the exam. Slowly it's becoming more and more complex, huh? Right or not? Whatever work you did for 14 days, it will be lots of work. Because as we read, we'll make notes. We'll say, okay, this is talking about that, this is talking about that. So in 14 days, you would have had a very good chunk of information added. You have to remember all this. None of this will go into the exam. But the pre-scene, the original copy, will be given to you on exam day in the exam platform without your notes. You understand what I'm saying? But for me, it's not a problem because what? The notes that I make is my notes, isn't it? So when I read the pre-scene again, I should be able to recollect what I said. Because I had 14 days. Then some students say, you think what? We're only doing SBL. Actually, I assume you're only doing SBL. You understand? because that's the commitment I require. Right? So am I going to spot exam questions? No, because I can't spot exhibits. Exhibits can change. So one student said, can you spot an exhibit that there will be a strategy proposal? Yes, correct. But what strategy? So many strategies on earth. Could be an e-commerce strategy, could be an acquisition strategy, could be a joint venture strategy, could be a market development strategy, could be a franchising option, could be leasing. So many. So don't worry about spotting. Finish your syllabus, read your precinct carefully, and then focus on your exam day. Right? But the exam paper itself will have two different sections. Total is 100%, but out of this 100%, 70 marks is for technical content. How to get technical contents? This will come from your syllabus. If you understand your syllabus, you do everything that your syllabus asks you to do, you will get 80 marks for that, not 70. 80 marks for that. What is the pass mark? Only 50. So now the question is, where is the other 20 marks? Correct. Like all strategic paper, the 20 marks that we left out here is for professional marks. So one student asks, will I get professional marks? Will I lose professional marks if my grammar is wrong? No. But if your grammar is so bad that we cannot understand what you are telling us, how to give marks in the first place? Right now, but simple grammatical errors, nobody is concerned. Right now, so these professional marks has certain requirements. I'll show you what are the requirements later. There are certain requirements, but the pass mark is very simple. If you want to pass, the pass mark is just 50%. It's just 50%. Not difficult to get. But you know what is the pass rate for SBL? We have one of the lowest pass rate. Pass rate is anywhere between 50% to 52%. So that means every 2 students that go for exam, 1 pass. But don't worry, we are not the lowest. I think APM is the lowest. Right or not? Okay, 30 something. Right, we are still okay, 50 something. Not too bad. Right or not? But it's a high failure rate. Okay, 50% is a very high failure rate. Now the question is, why is the pass rate so low? Why is the pass rate so low? Okay, I think you understand the complexity that we have here. Right or not? We have the complexity, and one of the biggest problem that I face with SBL is students do not practice. Okay, for example, when I answer a question, you will look at me. When I read the case, you will look at me, and as though I'm saying the board of directors, you will all nod your head. Yeah, correct, correct, correct. Easy. It's just like my wife when she's cooking. When I look, it looks so easy. I mean, I don't know why she makes such a big noise. There's nothing there. You just chop a few things, then you take this, you throw everything inside, you give it a good stir, and it's done. Until I go there. Then what she tells me, never practice. Same thing here. It's not only for SBL, it's for all the papers. Sometimes I walk across classes I hear. So what is the number? They wait for about 3 or 4 seconds. The number is 300, correct? Correct. Okay, what's they are doing? We don't practice. So the only time when we practice is maybe when it comes to exam, too late. Because why? You didn't get into the pressure of reading the precinct. You never got into the pressure of reading the exhibits. You never went into the pressure of doing your answers. Not writing. Huh? Who writes these days? Yours is a CBE. Computer-based exam. That means Everything has to be typed. The exhibit you cannot print out and read. You have to read it from the computer. You have to flip across the screens. Then you have to type your answers as required. And if you're going to do all this for the very first time on exam day, that's problem number one. Problem number two is, this could be a little bit, you will say I'm sarcastic, but I'll just tell you anyway. Problem number two is, many of you all are following the course online. But are you going to stay focused? Like how you're going to be focused when you are here? Answer is no. You can move the recording now.
Yeah, your panel 2 is July 2025. How is it? It's not reflecting on the